not the same thing. And then at the end also adds on that I also don't think it's okay to have Fansly as a sponsorship. So really, Charlie did nothing wrong in this situation. But me, I'm watching.
What the fuck is this? The Hollywood of Twitch? Yo, listen.
On Twitch.
Can I?
Now, that's the new hot drama to talk about these days, and originally I wasn't going to say jack shit about this. I wasn't mentioned at all in this video or really in any of the other conversations that I've seen, but it kind of felt like this because the entire conversation has stemmed from the Streamer Awards, my girlfriend's event, and all the Fansly hate has been directed at her, and then me with my chess boxing event that the primary sponsor, the biggest funder of it was Fansly, sleeping soundly, snoozing. So I figured rather than just lie down and imagine none of it's happening, I'd at least give my opinion, my take on it. And if you don't know, for a little bit more context, Fansly is like an adult-oriented site where you can subscribe to get like usually risque, usually pornographic content from creators that you might know because oftentimes those creators are also Twitch streamers. It's kind of like OnlyFans, but they've dominated the gaming space based off their marketing efforts and who is making the content on the website. That's it. That's the skinny of it. You get it. Bing, bang, boom. And it all started because during the Streamer Awards, which was also sponsored by Fansly, this ad was played.
Free trial of some of our hottest creators. On top of that, sign in using your Twitch account and see which of your favorite streamers are already creating adult content on Fansly. Fansly.
That is a wild ad. Straight up. I scanned. That's definitely wild. Okay. And not only is that wild, but like I thought Twitch didn't allow that kind of fucking promo. What the fuck? Twitch literally won't let hot tub streamers post their fucking OnlyFans. Twitch literally won't let hot tub streamers post their OnlyFans, but like I guess when it's a big ticket sponsor, they don't give a shit, right?
It has a whole algorithm dedicated to discovering new content and creators through the
chatters are so funny. They're like, go back. I need to scan. I don't know if you can still do it.
For You feature. Swipe and discover today.
A very tame giggle as if someone came.
Yeah, and people were calling Charlie a hypocrite from this because he didn't admonish it, but he did admonish Aiden Ross showing porn to his viewers. And
wait, you didn't actually know what the drama was about? No, man. I literally have no fucking clue. I don't know how I missed this cut of drama. It seems like you guys did a pretty good job of not like letting me in on it, not keying me in on it. You are part of the drama? How am I part of this drama? Okay, so here's what I don't understand. How would I be part of this drama? What the fuck? Okay, listen, can I just say something? The fact that I'm involved in this drama, if I am involved in this, I don't even know that I was. You guys keep saying I am. Shows me that once again, all roads somehow lead back to Gamba. I feel like the worst mistake of my streaming career wasn't like saying America deserved 9/11 and then describing what I mean by that. It was that I spoke out against gambling, I think, on the platform, because now it's like whenever anything happens completely unrelated to me or unbeknownst to me, people are just like, wow, Hasan's silence on this matter is deafening. And it could literally be something that I have no idea about. You know what I mean? And they'll just be like, wow, seems like Hasan called out gambling, but not this. That's kind of weird. Very clearly, he's just, avoiding talking about it like the top of the hour ad break or something. Clear guilt is eating him alive. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. That's right. The gambling debate with U-Train executing Ethan really was a cultural reset, to be honest. Yeah, it's just like things have gone so south since then. The original video was rage bait, and you usually say no free cloud. That's probably why people didn't bring it up to you. Oh, that's good. I actually do like that. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Keep up the good work on not getting me to see like random idiots. As I'm saying, Elise's like, here, watch this video. No, man. No. I will be staying away from dumb shit that breaks my fucking brain, okay? Anyway, top of the hour ad break. Which, by the way, I don't know. I have no control over who runs ads on my stream. So if you are one of those people who is not subscribed, if you haven't gotten gifted a sub, I'm going to be honest with you, you might see an ad from like the American military. You might even see, depending on if Fansly's buying ads, you might get a Fansly ad. I'm just letting you know. Another reason to subscribe for $5 or for free, or get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. On your part of the drama, because that girl who made the original hate vid made a huge part of you for some reason. You have to watch that original vid for the context, but it's super hateful. Saw it on XQC stream, and she's an avid XQC hate/love watcher. I actually used to think she was an AI. For some reason. I wonder what reason that could be. Morven Matt, thank you for the 5 gifted. User 75276634197. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
Charlie basically spends 12 minutes telling you 12 different ways why those are not the same thing. And then at the end also adds on that I also don't think it's okay to have Fansly as a sponsorship. So really, Charlie did nothing wrong in this situation. I'm watching.
What the fuck is this? The Hollywood of Twitch? Yo, listen. Can I just say something? Okay. The moment this is a meme, right? Please tell me this is a meme. Please tell me this is not serious. If someone made a fucking meme like this, they immediately need to log off and get a healthy dose of lithium. Okay? Like, what the fuck? I want to go back. I want to go back to a world where like people that did stuff like this was laughed at. You know what I mean? Like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia screaming about Pepe Sylvia. Like that was, you were supposed to laugh at that. You were supposed to go, haha, that's a crazy person, right? Not go, hold up, let him cook. He's got some good fucking ideas, as a matter of fact. I think I'm going to go along with Charlie's Pepe Sylvia takes. Nothing is more serious than this, I suspect. What the fuck? Somewhere along the line, we just decided like the most insane person on the internet probably has some good ideas. We should definitely always take them seriously. It's cringe takes that you've heard before about Hollywood streamers protecting each other. Here you can see some of the top dogs of Twitch who happen to be YouTube streamers kissing one another. Excuses that porn is ruining the fabric of society. Seems like he's taking it seriously, at least as far as he can use it as a defense for Gamba, in my opinion. What the fuck? Moderation. XU started this drama and said yesterday that Fansly was worse than Gamba because it's ruining the fabric of society. That's how people brought you up. Again, worst mistake of my life was speaking out against gambling sponsorships from cryptocurrency unhinged, unregulated gambling casinos that are built outside of like a shed in Curacao.
Watching this, I'm eating my popcorn. I'm like, yeah, they are different. I do think showing porn directly is different than a website that could link porn. And then he was like, but Fansly sponsors are also bad. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch, I do those. I do those a lot, in fact. Now, to wrap up real quickly the Streamer Awards thing, here's Cutie reacting to the ad.
On top of that, sign
Probably should have seen these ads before he played them.
in using your Twitch.
Yeah, that ad is definitely. I mean, that's. It makes sense. That ad is not great. Okay, that's not a good ad. It's a bit much, a bit ridiculous that they literally were like, here, scan the QR code so you can go and look at fucking all this other shit. Now, here's the major reason. Here's the major difference, though. There's supposed to be some level of, I assume, I've never been on Fansly. I've also never been on OnlyFans, contrary to popular opinion, despite my advocacy for sex work and sex workers in general. I would suspect that there's some level of paywall or something that stops you from, enjoying. Why is everybody capping? I talk about literally jerking off to Overwatch porn. Why would I lie about this? Do you think there's something that I have to hide with respect to consuming OnlyFans and Fansly content? Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, why would I lie about that? I tell you what I look at. I think that when you have a Super Bowl ad that's for Bud Light, right? There's a level of control there. Obviously, it's even harder to go and acquire alcoholic beverages, right? Because you have to go to a liquor store. There's way more regulation to accessing alcohol than there is to accessing pornographic material on the internet. Okay? You are literally subscribed to my OnlyFans. I think you are being duped by someone. But one level of regulation, at least back in the day when there was alcohol promotion, is they are supposed to look at your demographics. They're supposed to look at your demographics and look at the percentage of your demographics that's over the age of 18, or for alcohol in the United States of America, over the age of 21. So what they're supposed to do in that regard is at least do their due diligence and not work with content creators who have an audience that has, I don't remember what the exact percentage is, but they're not supposed to work with audiences that have a percentage that is like, overwhelmingly under 18. You know what I mean? I think that is what should happen for companies like Fansly or OnlyFans or other pornographic companies that are doing ads. Do I have an issue with a porn sponsorship, a porn company sponsorship? No, I don't. Do I think that porn is corrupting the minds of the youth? No, I don't. I have talked about pornography as long as it is done by consenting adults. Okay? There is no issue with that. I mean, yeah, the fucking 3% of the audience was under the age of 13. That's, yeah. Okay, there you go. Exactly. Isn't this community loves this version mostly 20 to 24 now? 2018 was a long time ago. Yeah, 3% of the audience is under the age of 18. 3%. That's there you go. That's it. That makes the most sense. No one is putting their age below 18 when creating an account. I guess that could be true, but there's no real way of getting around that beyond it. You're fucking delusional if you say porn doesn't fuck your brain up. I cannot speak on what unfettered access will do to developing minds. What unfettered access to internet pornography will do to young minds, I don't know. It probably isn't good, though. I agree. I don't think porn fucks your brain up, though. No, I don't. That's a ridiculous generalization. And more so probably a self-report. Having said that, however, I think having unfettered access to internet pornography, especially at ages that are like super young, the moment that you have a phone in your hand, that can't be healthy. I don't think that that's healthy. I will admit to that. Because like, I wish I had more access to porn when I was younger, right? When I was growing up. But I don't know what those consequences might have been. But I'm being overly sensitive and overly fair here, like way more charitable than others would be. However, access to any kind of content that is completely unfettered as a young adult with a developing mind is going to be bad. Literally, like anything. I would go so far as to say even video games, TikTok, social media in general, and numerous other points of consumption will break the brains of young adults and developing brains in general, for sure. I'm only like a year or two older than you, but I had to jack off the Wild Things too. Like all my friends are wait for a 90-minute download on Kazaa Lite, then immediately delete it after. Yeah, I mean, I'm old enough that I've downloaded a significant amount of malware into the fucking family computer thinking that I'm getting pornography on the internet from like Aries or LimeWire. You know what I mean? Like back in my day, we used to walk uphill both ways to school type shit. But like literally, it was really, really hard. And that was when it got easier. Pre-LimeWire, it was like you had to find it. You know what I mean? One of the homies in your class had access to like some pornographic material. Bro, I went analog. I fucking jerked off to like Denise Richards on what was it like? It was like a nude spread of Denise Richards on a FHM or something. So that's not like you will not understand that, okay? My most classic jack off to the sex scenes in W.B. Griffin World War II novels. What the fuck? That's insane. Bro, when you have to save that one photo on the floppy disk? No, I never did floppy disk. So I don't have the answers to that. I don't. I'm being super clear and super honest with you. I actually don't know. I don't know what the consequences are. And I don't know what the answers to it are. Like, I don't know how to regulate it beyond ensuring that, like, if you have any kind of pornographic material that you are selling, that your audience should be above the age of 18. Obviously, there's always going to be people under age of 18 that are watching regardless. But I mean, like, look at the audience demographics and ensure that it's at least over like 75 to 80%. You know what I mean? Because it's, you know, it's impossible for it not to be. Kind of like thinking that the 18 plus link that you click on for adult content is you know, not clickable by people who are younger. Of course it is. thoughts on only being able to access porn sites if you prove you're over 18 somehow. I think that's also kind of wild. I know that that's the direction that we're going towards. But like, I don't know if you want to upload your fucking license to a goddamn website. You know what I mean? That's what you do in Louisiana now. If you want to access porn, I think in the state of Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken, you literally have to upload a photo ID. Like, I don't feel safe or comfortable doing that. Anyway, so I don't know if that's a good solution either, but let's get back to this.
She's honest there. She said she didn't look at these ads before they're played, which sometimes that's how sponsors operate. But me watching them, I'm like, oh, okay, so chess boxing was presented by Fandly. Title sponsor, literally in the title itself. I had a whole dramatic reveal.
What's going on in the middle of the ring?
Look up. Because we have the Fandly Sky table.
Holy smokes!
I mean, you can't get more dramatic. Look at me.
This table.
I think it's also because it's cutie. You know, she's controversial. She's a woman. So, like, that's part of the reason. Germa has probably been sponsored by Fandly as well. I have never been sponsored by Fandly. I don't have an issue with Fandly or OnlyFans or Pornhub, obviously. I've talked about this pretty openly. But I would suspect that the real reason is because, like, people care more about valid, like, targets that they consider easy to attack. XQC has been sponsored by fucking Fandly. Yeah, right? XQC literally has been sponsored by Fandly. Juice, the show that he did was sponsored by fucking Fandly, no? Juiced. XQC did a show and partnered with Ludwig that was sponsored, and he had no idea what the sponsor was or what it entailed.
We'll be where the magic happens, not just for Super Smash Bros.
I had people cheering for a goddamn table. And that's not where it's ended. I mean, obviously, Germa's used Fandly before, which he was on the stage with me. Fandly instant replay from his baseball event.
Just rips the cover off that ball.
And then in a show that I hosted with XQC Juiced, I got Fandly as the sponsor. That was the main sponsor that we were able to secure. Originally, the sponsor that I used to use all the time, the one that would always be reliable for me, was Coinbase. Coinbase sponsored my Mogul Money. They were supposed to sponsor XQC's Juiced, and XQC signed off on that. He was like, yeah, I love Coinbase. And then everybody was like, crypto's way too cringe. And Coinbase let go a lot of people, and they were struggling, so stopped using them as a whole. But here's a point to talk about: what is okay and not okay to use as a sponsor. And the answer, kind of boring. It's what is aligned with your ethics and morals, what you personally think is okay. And that should be different for everybody. But there's generally like a guardrail, like you're at a bowling alley, but you keep hitting the gutter. So you get the guardrail of what is okay and not okay according.
Porn is better than crypto? Oh, 100%. I think porn is better than crypto. Well, yeah, I will stand by that. I think porn is better than crypto. I think porn is better than gambling, definitely. Like, I don't have an issue with porn at all. I hope that came across as very clear. If we're going to talk about a separate side issue about, like, easily accessible pornographic material for young minds, and how much young people can access porn and how easily young people can access porn, I don't know what the impacts of that are, but I'm always an advocate for sexual education, and I do believe that it should not be left up to porn, which is just another type of artistic expression and consumption. I think it's, like, ridiculous. You don't learn how to fucking fly by watching Superman. You don't learn how to do math by watching movies. And you should not learn sex from porn. Porn is just a completely separate thing. Unfortunately, in a society where we do not have adequate sexual education, in a puritanical and otherwise patriarchal society, where a lot of these conversations are cast aside, not talked about, seen as a taboo, we do not have the adequate sexual education, so people do turn to porn and see it as like educational. Porn, on the other hand, and this is outside of the boundaries of heteronormativity, but porn, on the other hand, can sometimes be liberating for queer people with respect to learning about their identities and getting more comfortable within their own identities. This is a very commonly forgotten aspect of porn, and even then, it should not be left up to porn. It should be done through regular conversations, having open and frank conversations that parents should be encouraged to have with their children, and also on top of that, learning at schools. We do not have that reality right now as it stands, but that would be the systemic solution to any kind of additional complications that porn could possibly create. So that's it. But I do think that the concept of like porn sick, like these people are porn sick, these people have rotted their fucking brains, it's something that I see in Zoomers a lot. And I think that is perhaps coming from the like I said, unfettered access, unrestricted access to pornographic materials from a very early age. And some people, unfortunately, do not know how to handle that. They do not know how to control themselves, and they do not know how to handle that, which is where regulation should come into play. Some form of regulation. Okay?
To like the public conscious. The way I determine it is the same way I just said it. It's what aligns with my ethics and morals. So it's kind of subjective. But I'll tell you before I jump into exactly what I'm cool with and not cool with about my ethos as a whole. Because when I switched over to YouTube, I made a specific mental switch that I would no longer get money directly from my viewers. And I put that in quotes because at the end of the day, I still only get money because of my viewers, but I get them from their views and their attention rather than their wallets directly. And before that, most of
I have a fucking counter to this. I think subscriptions are significantly better as a form of revenue generation. Not only is it more consistent, but it also leads to significantly more autonomy with respect to editorial control than relying on mega corporations to give you money. Here is one aspect where myself and Ludwig and even XQC, who I've talked to about this particular thing, actually are at a disagreement. Okay? I do not agree with that. I think that, I mean, it's great. For someone like Ludwig, for someone like XQC, that might be great. Okay? Ad revenue is pretty good. I would much rather maintain my editorial control and maintain my autonomy by getting subscription-based revenue. That's it. That has been my day one approach to this subject. Subs are why you shouldn't be in this drama. You don't take sponsor dollars. Yeah, that is part of it. I rarely ever do sponsorships. I oftentimes turn down massive budgets, massive sponsorship opportunities. I've talked about some of them recently, specifically one about poker. But yeah, I don't do it, but that doesn't mean that I don't have an opinion on the matter. You still do ads, shut the fuck up, lol. Yes, I have a contract with Amazon. This is true. I have an exclusivity contract with Amazon because the platform that I primarily stream on is this one, Twitch. I have made this decision after thinking about it long and hard and considering that this is like the best platform for me right now in this particular moment to be on. That's it. You know, that's an entirely different conversation that we could be having, but this is not what we're talking about. What I mean by the sponsorships is not ads. Sponsorships is when you get a native advertising opportunity by directly talking to a brand, oftentimes conducted by a manager or some ad agency or maybe your agents. Okay? A lot of streamers do a combination of all three. They have subs, They run ads and they have sponsors. XQC is a great example of this. He does all three. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with sponsorships, by the way. Let me just, make sure that people understand. Let me be clear. There is nothing wrong with getting sponsorships. Okay. That does not mean that there are certain sponsorships that I would consider to be not great or even outright unethical. Obviously, if British Petroleum was sponsoring streamers specifically to say that global warming is actually not an issue and you shouldn't worry about it, I would say that that is an unethical sponsorship. Okay? I think that that's not an ethical sponsorship. If you're doing a sponsorship for an unregulated crypto casino that is incredibly easy to access, no matter what age you are, but very difficult to take money out of, I would say that that is an unethical sponsorship. Okay? Raytheon. Getting sponsored by Raytheon to promote their latest missiles would be an unethical sponsorship. Okay? So, that's hot take. Ubisoft is just as bad as British Petroleum. Yes, I do not agree with that take. I love that. That is a take that you could only arrive at if you are so permanently brain broken by just being I don't know, Haas. It's debatable. Okay. No. No, you're right. Ubisoft is worse. They ruined gaming, which is significantly worse than fucking British Petroleum ruining the planet. Anyway, let's continue.
Of my money came from subscribers or donations. But since I've switched over to YouTube, I changed all of my subscribers or memberships to $1. And I stopped all donations. They're all capped at $10. And I don't even get any of those dollars anyway. They go directly to my moderators. It just felt weird to me to receive dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of dollars from an individual when I know I'm doing very well because YouTube signed me a big old paycheck. Thank you, Susan. Please sign it again. That's the gist. So I would rather be getting like a few pennies for your views and for your attention from different sponsors, from YouTube ad rolls, than I would money from you directly. Does that make sense?
I would love to see what Ludwig's attitude towards subscription revenue will be if the new CEO of YouTube doesn't, re-up his contract. For the record, I personally think that they would be delusional not to re-up Ludwig's contract. I think he's fucking great. He's a catch. He is a brilliant content creator. I will never say this to his face. If you clip this and show this to him, I will deny it. I will say it's AI. Okay? He is a massive pickup for YouTube, and he is a brilliant content creator in the space, and I appreciate all the stuff that he does. Having said that, however, if he were to lose the fat YouTube contract he currently has that covers everything and then some, I suspect he would not have this exact same approach as it pertains to generating revenue from subscriptions. Why'd you give away your defense? What do you mean?
That was a switch I made, which, by the way, people I think are more and more making a decision that they don't like advertising. They don't like free stuff. Maybe they prefer a paid subscription service where you don't have to watch ads. That might be like a cultural shift, which I would just have to adapt to. So anyway, let's get to my ethics and morals of what I think is cool, what I think is not cool. Why did I take a fancy sponsorship? If you guys don't know, it's kind of a downturn right now. There's not a lot of people who are out and about trying to sponsor events, at least not as many as there were a year or 2 years ago. It is dried up a lot. So Fansly has been one of the more reliable sponsors to work with. And honestly, I've been talking to them about sponsoring more events later this year. So, you know, I did say that I'm only guided by my ethics and morals. That was kind of a lie. I'm also guided by what the viewers would think is cool. For example, a sponsor wants you to look at their ad to maybe sign up for it. But if you guys all collectively decided, or the majority did, that the sponsor I'm using is super cringe, well, then it'd be a failure of a sponsorship. You guys would all shit on it. The sponsor would be upset. They wouldn't be happy with me. I wouldn't be happy because I'm not succeeding in creating a broadcast that's sustainable that I can do again in the future. So I would stop doing it. So there is another guiding principle, and that's all to say that your voice matters in this situation. If you're like, hey, Ludwig, Fansly's too far, or hey, Ludwig, I don't like when you did it with Coinbase, that'd be chill. In fact, that's part of why I stopped using Coinbase in the first place. Now, for me, maybe this is my European background. I care less about porn. I care less about nudity.
My European background. Oh my God. Motherfucker, you grew up in New Hampshire, dog. It's your libertarian roots that is causing you not to care about porn. Yo, this yee ass motherfucker puts on a turtleneck, has his hair all coiffed, and he goes, maybe it's because of my European background. You know, It's like maybe that is the reason. Who knows? I like the tété, you know? Retro tété. It's very nice. He said maybe it's because of my European background. Yes.
I don't have this in my mind. A group of kids.
But he's not wrong though. It is, Americans are insanely puritanical, and it's very odd. Like, it is, like, the rest of the world looks at it and goes, that is kind of weird. Okay, it's true. Like, anyway.
Kids who I'm concerned about saving, and that's how I decide every moral or ethical decision is what these group of kids that are imaginary would care about. We should stop gambling because of the kids. We shouldn't show anything that's adult content because of the kids. We shouldn't advertise alcohol. I shouldn't do drinking streams because of the kids. I don't give a fuck about the kids. I don't cater my content directly towards kids. I do a lot of gambling. I do a lot of drinking. I do a lot of swearing. I wouldn't.
I for the record, I don't disagree with this. But this is very New Hampshire libertarian, by the way. Live free or die ass motherfucker talking about how he's European. Okay? Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't disagree with this. It's like the idea that, like, oh, it's like fucking, especially if you have content that is not supposed to be tailored towards children, then, like, the idea that, like, oh, dude, think about the children is fucking ridiculous.
Say that if you're a kid, I'm a channel that you should necessarily watch. I maybe this one because it's more drama, it's more straightforward. But my main channel, yeah, I get it to some debauchery. I used to take a poker sponsor. I only stopped because not my ethics and morals, but it would be too hard to argue against sponsored gambling, specifically for slots, and then still allow sponsored poker, which I view as different. That's a different line to me, which some people might call me crazy for.
I don't even think that's all that crazy either, for the record. Gambling is still gambling. But yes, poker is still poker. I would put in a totally different category.
The way I see it is sponsored gambling, like slots or blackjack, has a house edge. You are guaranteed to lose money. It is an inevitable fact. The longer you play, the more money you will lose. And sponsored gambling is a little weird because I'm getting paid by this sponsor to gamble money I normally would not gamble. And then I would occasionally get wins I would not get and celebrate them as if they are as legitimate as any other win.
Like, even blackjack, I would put at a different, as someone who gambles, okay? You guys know this. I like gambling. I'm very haram, okay? I personally like gambling. I personally like drinking. I do all of this stuff, right? As far as, like, what I have done throughout my experience, I've done a little bit of slots. Actually won a lot of fucking money, weirdly enough. Do not do it, obviously. More money than I have ever gambling in my lifetime, fucking playing blackjack. But I would say that slots is the most on steroids. You're basically giving money to the fucking... You're basically giving money to the you're basically giving money to the casino directly versus blackjack, which is still you're giving money to the casino directly, even though there is more skill involved to a certain degree. To poker, where you're not giving money to the house, you're literally giving money to whoever the fuck is significantly better than you at poker. So yeah.
I think that's weird. I think all sponsored gambling should stop. Having said that, I've never been against gambling content as a whole. If you go back to any of the videos I made about gambling, I always said end sponsored gambling, not end gambling. I love poker. Poker is one of the main games I played in college. I allegedly ran an illegal online poker ring for a while. And so I took poker sponsorships because you're playing against another human. And oftentimes when I was sponsored, it's because the house takes a rake, so they get a little bit of money, but you can still be a very winning player if you have studied more. And of course, you have luck and variance on your side. Anyway, but that's kind of where my line is. I don't take a lot of sponsors for things that I'm against using. That's kind of where I make my line, right? It's like if I wouldn't play this gotcha game, then yeah, I probably shouldn't play it on stream for 2 hours because it's a little disingenuous. But sometimes I also break that too, right? I was sponsored by G Fuel for a while, but I was still drinking coffee every morning. Now I'm no longer sponsored by them because I think they're kind of a piece of shit company. But a lot of the streamers who are sponsored by G Fuel don't even drink that shit. It's way too much caffeine and taurine, and they just get...
Okay, I'm a very superstitious person. You guys know this. Turkish quality. I'm sorry. I'm a very superstitious person. I keep this with me at all times. Okay? And I literally believe that it brings me luck. I would smack this fucking thing on the button when I'm playing slots. So the idea that this dude thinks that I fucking despise him, thinks that like I hate him or I've had it out to get him from the jump is additionally hilarious. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay? Anyway, you're allowed to have one insane belief. Exactly, which is that. That is my one insane belief. Hasan, train is down millions? Yes, but it helps me win millions. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's get back to this video. Ludwig looks very sad. I don't know what's going on.
Gotcha games. You know, do you think that's chill? What about VPN services that overhype their quality? What about free to download extensions that save you deals but might also sell your data? Is that chill to advertise? I think the reality is that everybody will draw the line right below what they do and then maybe admonish everything below that line as well. And everything above that line is okay with them and they have no problems with. But the power of the viewer is to change that line. So if you see a streamer or creator that you like, that you think is being a little too liberal with where they push their line, then you tell them to lift that line. You tell them to get a little more strict. Hey, I don't like it when you have Fansly as a sponsor. I don't like it when you have Coinbase. I don't like it when you have a VPN. That's all very legitimate things to feel as a viewer. And the feedback, I promise you, is always read. And whether it's acted on or not is to the judgment of the streamer. And I'm an open guy, so I'm down. I'm down for a conversation to figure out what's what. In my mind, an adult-oriented site doesn't bother me. I think it's fine. I think porn is chill and people can look at porn, and a site like Fansly where the creator directly profits off of it as opposed to all the shit that happens on the more conventional sites like Pornhub is a wholly good thing. And I don't generally mind doing it. I don't generally cater my content towards kids, and I don't consider the kids when I'm making my content. When I'm making a literal event that people are supposed to punch each other in the face, where half the time I'm getting drunk on stream or taking a gummy and playing Super Autopets, I'm not thinking about the kids. I'm not like, oh, should I be a good influence here? All I'm trying to do is be a good person to the world and make things that I find entertaining and I watch. That's it. So anyway,
yeah, I mean, I understand why he's saying that. I get that. I still am kind of unsure as to what the fuck's going on with respect to like the perceived hypocrisy, but the one thing that is the worst thing you can do on the internet, remember, is be